prophetic, and practical.
Intellectual stew.
Informative and inspirational. How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do.
Intellectual stew.
Come on, let's talk about it with me, the mind massager.
Intellectual stew with James.
What's up? What's up? What it do? Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James Kirkland. Ready to have these hard conversations. Let's talk. Let's talk. Y'all want to talk for a minute? I'm all about reconciliation. What's it going to take to get us back together? That's what I want to talk about. And sometimes you have to process some hard truths. And tonight, I think we're going to have to process some of those hard truths. Are y'all ready? Do me a favor. Tag somebody. Share this stream. I'm waiting on my panel to come together so we can get started. I see Coy is already on. We'll see who else joins us tonight, and we'll go from there. But I am ready for the conversation to get started. So guess what? We're going to start with whoever is here. Let's get this thing going. What's up? Who's in the chat? How y'all doing? Say hello. Don't come in. If you come in someone's home, at least say hello. Let me know you're there. And we're going to get this conversation started tonight. Let me bring Coy in. Coy, you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? All right, good. So we got Coy. All right, cool. We're waiting on Ashley. I'm sure. Corey, what's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? Waiting on Ashley to come in, so we'll get this conversation started. How was your day, Coy?
It was long. I rested, but
You didn't go to work today? Hey, Monique.
No,
hey,
I didn't
Corey.
go in today.
You didn't go in today? Oh, okay, good. You can do that when you're the boss. When you're the boss and a boss, you can do whatever it is you want to do. How was your weekend? Did you do anything interesting this weekend?
No, I didn't, James.
You didn't? Just a normal, boring weekend?
Normal, boring weekend. I just rested.
Just rested. That's smart. I mean, that's a good thing.
I hung out with some friends,
Really?
Nothing.
Nothing special. I don't have friends, so I don't have nobody to hang out with. If I go out with people, usually, I don't go on dates either. So I would say I would at least go out on a date or something like that. But I can't even say that I do that. Listen, I want to get this conversation started tonight. Hello, those that are coming in, say hello. Come on in, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
I see
Thank y'all
Monique.
for joining.
I see Corey. We're gonna try to be on and out of here probably with an hour and 15. I'm sure Ashley will be joining here in a moment. But we want to process some hard truths. And Coy, you and I, we talk. We don't just talk on the show. Sometimes we talk behind the scenes, and sometimes
Right.
and I know what you're doing. You're trying to understand how I think. You're trying to understand some of my thought processes, and I think I'm articulate enough to express them. I think I'm articulate enough because if I take a position, hey, what's up, Stacy? How you doing, sir? If I take a position, Coy, on anything, I'm able to back it up 100%. You know what I'm saying? I have an argument for it. I don't just say things willy-nilly and just think that that's it. You know, if I say something, I try to have put some type of, you know what, because, hey, what's up, Kiki? People really discount the ability to think critically.
Yes,
You know,
I
when you
agree.
start thinking critically, most people, and I'm not trying to slight anybody, but most people just don't. Oh, let's get Ashley in now. Hey, Ashley, we got you, baby. You there?
Hey, Ash.
Hey y'all. Hey,
Uh,
sorry I'm late.
no problem. We're setting it up. But listen, this what I was saying, Ashley, is that whenever I put a thought out, it's typically been thought out reasonably. I mean, I have a rationale for it, right? And most people don't necessarily think critically, right? Critical thinking is called higher order thinking. It's not looking at something face value and then just saying that's it. You know what I'm saying? If you look at a Campbell soup
Right.
can, one point of the can you can say chicken noodle soup, but then on the
Uh-huh.
back you can look and see all the ingredients, the sodium in
Um,
it, the fat in it, the salt in it, and that's the critical part of it, right? And so whenever we start to put out these thought processes and whatnot, we usually try to approach them with some type of critical thought, right? And here tonight, and Ashley, you've been with me since the beginning of this thing, and ever since you've known me, Ashley, the only thing that I've talked about is reconciliation, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, and what am I trying to reconcile, Ashley?
The black community and the
Okay.
families there.
Exactly. You can say the black community because, and I believe that it all starts with the family, right?
Right,
And
right.
in order to get there, it's gonna take us being able to process some hard truths. It's
Hmm.
gonna take us being able to not take everything personally. Coy, I had a conversation with a homegirl of mine that I went to college with, and we were talking about the show. I said, I said, young, I ain't gonna say her name, but and I got to stop saying names. I got to stop saying names.
Hallelujah.
I don't want to offend anybody anymore. But this young lady, she said, I didn't see you on the show last week. Kiki, check this out. She said, I didn't see you on the show. She said, well, James, sometimes I got to get off your show. I said, why? She said, because you make me look at myself in the mirror. And sometimes I don't like what I see.
Hmm.
And she said, I'm not ready to face that yet. I'm not ready to look at that yet. So I have to come and take you in stages. So I think sometimes in processing these hard truths, it makes us somewhat uncomfortable. But even though it's uncomfortable, it's necessary. And we have to be mature enough to have a heartfelt conversation without getting angry, without getting upset, with an open heart, with an open mind, to the point that we're able to listen to what both sides are saying and process it. Am I right or wrong? Y'all? Tell me if I'm right or wrong.
You're
Yes,
right.
I agree
I
with
always
that.
make
Definitely.
those statements when we've had other conversations. Sometimes you have to be able to have those uncomfortable conversations, and I think you've made the statement that it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be, but it is. Sometimes we're afraid of losing a friend or losing a family member or behind some of the things that we say. But to
Mm-hmm.
me, I think just like you said, we have to get to a point where we have those conversations. But people out just, and again, reiterating what you say, people need to look at it as it's not being something to hurt you, but to help you in the long run. And I think if people get past that part of thinking that everybody is out to get them or hurt them or not see them successful, and it's the total opposite. I want to see you in a certain light. So that's the reason why I'm taking time to even say something to you. Your parents always used to say, I wouldn't say, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't say anything. Or people may say, if I didn't care, I wouldn't talk to you, or I wouldn't do. So if people look
Hmm.
at it that way, then I definitely think that we all would be in a better space.
Absolutely. You got anything you want to add to that,
Yeah.
Corey? You got anything
I'm
you want
with
to add?
y'all on that. I'm
Okay.
doing some invites right now, but I'm with y'all on that.
Okay, good. So listen, so I want to kind of make a left turn right here, because if one thing, people say Facebook isn't real life, but really Facebook is real life, because people let you know exactly what they think. People let you know exactly know how, and kind of how they feel, and sometimes it just gives you really good content, right? And I saw something last week, it was some content, and it was some content that they put out there, and when sometimes I look at these things on the surface, but when I look at them in depth, they really have some deeper meaning. And Coy in Be Real last week, Lazarick put a post out. And Lazarick, if you're there, say hello. I'll send you the link, and you're welcome to come in and let us know what you were thinking when you put that out there. But Lazarick put a post out, and I thought it was really, really, really deep. Hey, what's up, Carnell? What's up, Nathan? What's up, Zaria? Hey, Chandria.
Hey guys.
Now listen, I want to say this too. Ashley, you know you because you can vouch for me, so because you love me, right? I'm not bashing men, nor am I bashing women, but I'm highlighting some situations. Okay, I'm highlighting some situations,
Right.
and in order to highlight it, I have to share some of these. But this is the one I wanted to share. This is the one I want to share, sisters. I'm not fighting y'all, so don't come for me. I'll fight back tonight. But hold on, let me do this. Hold on. All right, so I want to pull this tab up, and I'll find the one I want. Is that the one I want? Nope. Is this the one I want? This is the one I want right here. I'm not Kevin Samuels. My name is James Kiki. But if I can get that money, I'll take it. Here we go. All right. So this is what I wanted to say. Okay, y'all might not be able to see that, but all right, this is what it says, and this is the first part of the conversation we're gonna have tonight. Toxic mothers are just as bad as absent fathers, but we're not ready for that conversation. Okay, did y'all hear that? I'm gonna say it one more time. Toxic mothers are just as bad as absent fathers. What does that mean to you, Coy?
That means that although she's present, she may have a negative impact on you.
So you're saying she's present and poison at the same time?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes,
That's good.
absolutely. There's a lot of mothers out there like that. And maybe they're not like that on purpose. I know you guys speak about accountability all the time, but how can there be accountability if they don't know anything else?
No, we'll talk about the therapy later on. Let's talk about that right now, okay? Because the problem is so many times we don't even talk about that part of it. You feel what I'm saying? We want to, you know how you clean up the house. Well, y'all probably didn't get away with it. I used to do this kind of stuff. But when you clean up, sometimes you don't want to sweep it up. You sweep something under the rug. You know what I'm saying? You sweep the little dust under the rug because hopefully mama and them don't see it right quick.
Throw the clothes under the bed.
Throw the clothes under the bed. You know.
That I ain't do that, but this is what.
But that's
how
what
you know
we
about
do.
it then? No.
I have siblings and a child.
Yeah, stupid. But that's what we do a lot of times because we don't want to have these conversations. And when we don't have these conversations, then it's not always on her to be accountable. Sometimes it's on her circle to be accountable. Y'all ever saw somebody come out dressed a certain kind of way or looking a little crazy or something like that? And then the first thing somebody will say about them is, she ain't got no friends.
Ain't got no friends. Yeah.
Because if she had any friends, her friends would have told her that this ain't the one. This one
Take that out.
And at a certain point, you know, I mean, like I said, y'all hear me tell the story a lot about when I was in Walmart and I saw a little toxic mama jerking this little boy around. She wasn't no more than 21, 22. The baby's 2 years old. She jerking him around. And I advocated for the baby. I said, stop doing that baby like that. And she said, well, this is my baby. You don't tell me what to do to my baby. And da-da-da-da-da. And all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, you know, stop doing it because eventually he's going to treat everybody like anybody else like you that he comes into contact with. Because he can't take it out on you. He's going to take it out on everybody else. I saw another mother one time on Facebook. Now, this was a long time ago. And she fell out with me behind this Coy. But this wasn't with her daughter. This was with her son. And she was upset with her son because he had created some type of infraction. And so she made him write down everything he did wrong, put it on a piece of paper, stand in front of a camera, and filmed it, saying what he done, like he's some kind of Al-Qaeda type child or something like that. And then all her friends laughing at him, joking, you know, all this kind of stuff. Why are you doing that boy like that? I said something like, yeah, you got that boy sitting up there like he's Al-Qaeda. And she said, you shut up, James. You married. You ain't doing it by yourself. Da, 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 da. And I said, yeah, I get it. But still, that's your business. That's not Facebook's business. Discipline your child at home. She said, nah, but I'm just telling you, you got help, you got somebody else, and you ain't never been a single mother. I said, no, but I've been the boy. Because I was the boy who felt like he was picked on by his mother at a certain time. And I'm not bashing the one who raised me or anything of the sort, but I felt picked on. I felt the victim of tough love or somebody trying to embarrass me and all that. I said, so no, I've never been the single mama, but I've definitely been the boy. And so I've seen the effects of a toxic mom. Go ahead, Corey. It seems like you got something you want to say. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, has anyone in the chat that has is there anyone in the chat that has done what James is referring to? Put on social media you disciplining your child. If so, what do you get out of that?
Because the child don't see it.
I'm trying to get what do you get out of that, because I'll leave it at that part. What does one get out of going on social media showing the world how you're disciplining your child?
Yeah, that's a good question, Ashley. What were you going to say a minute ago, Corey? Because I look like I thought I saw words about to come out of your face.
I'm reading the comments.
Okay. Did you see Nathan said the one who is most present has the most effect on a child. Being toxic can be just as contagious as monkeypox. And that's the problem. That's the thing. Toxic mamas and parents, I say both, but toxic mamas produce toxic daughters and toxic sons. And if they're real toxic, they produce weak sons because you beat up on him so long. He's listened to a woman talk down to him so long. I remember when I was married, one time my ex was ready to get my son. She was about to get him, Corey. Had him jacked up against the wall and everything. And when she got through, I said, listen, I know that's your son too, but let me get him like that. She said, why? I said, because he'll hate me and love me out the same breath. He'll come to resent you. I said, so let me get him. I need him to have a hiding place. You be his hiding place, but let me get in it. And I get it because so many single mamas have been thrust into this position of single motherhood, and they have to raise sons, and they have to assume, here it is, and Bishop Jakes talked about it earlier, and we're going to get into this a little bit later on tonight, but he talked about it. Now you got to take on the role of a nurturer and a punisher at the same time, and that can be confusing.
You know, James, we had this.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead. That's
I was going to say, we talked about this something similar to this probably a couple of months ago, when I made the statement that if I had a son and for some odd reason, me and his father weren't together, at some point in time, I would let my child go to live with his father, because to me, at some point in time, first of all, your son sons outgrow the whooping or the discipline of their mothers. They become immune to it, in my opinion. I watched it with my brother. And so at some point in time, I think that they need to go from, I guess, I'm not going to say leave from the nurturing of their mother, but that coddling spirit to having just a tad bit of tough love, and also learning things that a woman cannot teach.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying. Dawood Aziz El said he disagrees totally. Can you elaborate on that, brother El, and tell me how you what part you disagree? I'm talking about what worked in my house. Now, every home has its own culture. I understand culture is created, and in my house, based on how my dad raised me, and my dad did a pretty good job, and I was raised in a 2-parent home with the father. But raised me, and I know what, and I can tell you this also. I saw the effects of my father allowing my stepmother to discipline me, and it was tough. I kind of wish he would have disciplined me, because in my older years it caused me to resent. It definitely affected my relationship. Definitely affected my. Go ahead.
I have a question, James. Are you saying it was tough because? Let me be careful here. Are you saying it was tough because she was possibly toxic, or the way she disciplined you?
Both of those. I think that question was A and B. I mean both of those, both of those. But I learned later it was because of how she was raised. You understand what I'm saying? But that wasn't my fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That wasn't that wasn't my fault. You know what I'm saying? And I had she was coming at me like strong. I mean, I was a lot of times
Okay,
it
he
seemed
just
like I was the
responded
outlet.
to you.
I was gonna watch it. I was gonna read it, but I was in the middle of my little statement. Here we go. He
Okay.
says, my mother was a strong. She cut me off good, didn't she? My mother was a strong. I'm gonna get you back. My mother was a strong woman, and she disciplined me. It didn't do that to me. I'm not saying that. Did you have a mother and a father in the house, sir? With both of them, and you can speak. Hold
He
on.
wish he could
Let's do it.
speak. You want to send him a link?
Yeah, definitely. I'll put it in the chat right now. Hold on. Yeah, because we're sharing. We all sharing different experiences. So look, yeah, you wish and you can have. So you what did he say? He had two, but he gonna tell us in a second.
He said,
Yeah,
ask and you shall receive. Hallelujah.
absolutely, brother. You ain't said nothing, shouty, but I do know how to kick you out quick if you
Oh
say something
God.
wrong. I'm not kicking nobody out tonight, y'all. I'm saying.
Nah, he like the mute, Coy.
Hey,
Yeah, I know.
Dawood, and let me know if you can click that link right there. If you can, come on in. If not, I'm gonna have to send it to your inbox. Let me know if you can see if you can click that link right there. I just put it in the chat. All right, let me did he respond? Did he respond? Oh, you can't. Okay. Let me see if I can. Let me try this. Hold on, y'all. Let me do it like this.
Send it through the inbox. You want me to send it through the inbox?
Send it to his inbox for me, Ashley, so I can keep the show going. But let me make something clear before you get on here, Dawood.
Oh God.
Let me make something clear, my friend. And I did use the word friend. Did y'all hear me say friend?
Mm-hmm.
Did I say friend?
You said friend, sir.
I said friend. I said friend then. Y'all know what I'm about to do, right? Y'all know what I'm about to do.
Oh gosh.
He's good to go.
You send it to him, Coy?
Yeah, he's good to
Okay.
go.
All right, cool.
Oh
Somebody
no,
send
I
me
didn't send him anything. I can
Okay,
send it
I'm
though. The
sending
same
it
link.
Yeah, I got you. I'm sending it.
Okay.
Get it to him. Please bring him in. I want to hear him.
Tell him to check his inbox.
All right, cool.
Okay, if you check your inbox, you should see the link to be able to join.
All right, that was fun. I enjoyed that.
Ooh,
hey,
baby,
everybody in the chat,
senior
listen.
citizens get on these apps and they don't know how to act.
Your uncles, cousins, brothers, sister-in-law, nephew, twin. But listen, I got all these people in the chat. Do me a favor. First of all, say hello. Let me know you're there. And number two, share this thread. Let's get some more people in the conversation. This is the first part of it. We're talking about toxic mothers being just as bad as absent fathers. Now, Dawood is going to come in and he's going to share his positive experience of his strong mother. He said it still won't let him in. Let him in. Big guy, let him in, somebody. You know what, Dawood? Send me a friend request. Put my name in. Send me a friend request. And no, I want to hear you, my friend. I like this. This is what I'm trying to take this to. Send me a friend request. That's my name, and I'm gonna accept it, and then I'm gonna send you a link, and we're gonna make it good. Who else? Lamorla, how you doing?
Hey, Lamorla.
I love when she comes. So yeah, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this going. Who all agrees
with that? Oh,
you
know what? I sent him the wrong thing.
Okay. Everybody, everybody in the chat, who agrees that toxic mothers are just as bad as absent fathers? Who all agrees with that? Yeah. Who agrees or who disagrees with that? Let me know if you disagree. If you disagree, we'll let you come on and talk too. Because and listen,
the father is toxic too if he's absent.
We're not talking about that. We said listen to the sentence.
I heard exactly what you said.
Yeah, toxic mothers are as bad. We're agreeing. You're right. They're bad too. Mm-hmm. So that's the same thing we just said. Absolutely. Go ahead. You want to say some more about it? So nobody's disputing that. But tonight, this is the subject we're having tonight. Now we can have another.
Okay, he says he's clicking on it. I just sent it to him again.
I agree, if not worse. Why? Sammy, why do you say I agree, if not worse? And Nathan, I want to hear how you you said not exactly Coy. So go ahead and say what you had to say as well to Coy, and let's get that out there, because that's the thing. Even if the father is absent, And listen, it's a horrible thing for the father to be absent. It's horrendous. I wish he was there. But if he's absent, the cards have to still be played. Somebody's left with the responsibility. And if whoever's left with the responsibility, the child is still the casualty regardless.
Is he backstage?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. As soon as he comes back, I'm ready for him. So everybody says they agree. Sammy Smash says he agrees, if not worse. So we're gonna let him bring this in, and then we're gonna go farther into this conversation tonight, to the aspect of it. And like I said, this is a process.
I think it will give us some good insight also.
You think what to get us? You think that will?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if he clicks on, because they definitely create toxic parents in the long run. If they ever get married, parents, like you said, parents don't have to be married. That's true. Shut up, James. Parents don't even have to be married. Hey, Michelle Williams. Hey, Sammy Smash. Hey, Joya Lacey. Nathan.
Hey,
Latrice. Hey, everybody. Listen, share this thread. We're gonna have find out. Yes, let's find out where he is on this, and if not, we're gonna have to move a little further.
Well, he said he was clicking on it. Now I'm not sure.
There he is. I just heard him click. There we go. Come on in. Tell us your good story. And how you doing, brother? How you doing? You all right? Talk. I can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you great now. Go ahead. Tell now. So let me say this. That was my experience. Now, and I want to ask you a question. Did you say you had both your parents in your life, or you just said it was just your mother?
I had both parents in my life, but not both in the home.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead. Go ahead and tell you. So
the only I can agree. It didn't affect me to. I think my mother. No, I don't think she was. I know she was. She was toxic. But it didn't affect me. It didn't affect the outcome of how it turned out. I look at every individual, how they present themselves to me on a one-on-one basis. But my mother was strong, so her discipline, it helped me be respectful and how to carry myself as a man. No disrespect to any of the younger women, but the older women, I feel like they was equipped to discipline men, young men back in the days.
Yeah.
Versus how they are today. They're a little bit more lenient. They do more screaming and hollering and punishment than, discipline.
Gotcha. And the model of discipline I remember even beyond my parents, kind of sort of with my parents too, but is my mama would have me scared about my daddy coming home.
Yeah, that's how it was in our house.
Your daddy gonna get you when you get home. If you see what I'm saying? Because sometimes, and at that point, can you anticipate that whooping for the next 4, 5, 6 hours? You know what I mean? I would put on 2, 3 pair of underwear. Put on a couple of pair of pants. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take this whooping, right? But it was the mental part of preparing for the whooping. You see what I'm saying? And that's the man. See, a lot of times, and hear me, women, when I say this, sometimes women spank when they get mad, and that's out of emotion. And when you spank when you get mad, that's abuse. Because discipline. Yeah. See, when I'm spanking you, discipline is good when I'm crying too. When I'm hurt, when I'm spanking you, and I'm almost crying as well because it hurts me to spank you. That's discipline, right? But when I see her. Somebody's background. Who is that background? I can hear you. When I see that woman got that boy jacked up against the wall, and you mad, that's emotion.
That's anger, yeah.
And that's abuse, and that's anger, and that's toxicity. So when I say let me get him, Dawood, I'm saying because I know I'm gonna come at him at a whole different route. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna get him as much mentally as I'm gonna get him physically.
And you know what? I have to agree with you because.
No, we lost
do that, bro. Fix it. Come right back. Because he said because. That's the last thing I remember. Come on back, my friend. Let me kick him out so he can come back in.
Okay, let's see what Nathan said while we wait on him to join.
Okay.
One of the things that Dawood said, and hopefully he can get back on and elaborate on this as well, because I want to ask the question of, he said the discipline here or now is different. And I feel like it's different because, or does he feel like it's different because of the way the systems are set up? You can't really do nothing to your kid without
Man,
People
you gotta go.
looking at you like
That's a good.
you got to
Well,
call the
that's a
folks.
good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. Hold on, Dawood. We're gonna get you. You remember where you were?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. But because I want to hit what Nathan said to Coy. He said when Coy said absent fathers are just as toxic. The question is, why is he absent? Is it because the mother doesn't allow or is hindering, or is it because he's just a deadbeat? And that's a we're gonna leave that question as a rhetorical question right now, Coy. We'll come back to it in a minute. Let's let Dawood
Okay.
finish what he was saying. Come on, Dawood.
Hey, well, listen.
Baby, that face looks like she ready
my,
to answer.
my mother was more of the enforcer than my father, so I wanted him to discipline me more so than my mother, because he might be, you know, five lashes. That is over. My mama, she want to preach. This hurt me more than it hurt me. This gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you,
Yes.
and all that old
You want to
foolishness. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
Oh, we got
Who
we
else
got a
had
story.
whoopings like that? Drop a one in the chat. Whoever had them type of whoopings where your mama said, but this is what I got me, Dawood. What about when she whoop you for something you did last week? I mean, can we stay on task right now? This is what I did today.
No,
Hey,
we
listen.
should have got you last week, but we
hey,
getting
brother,
you
that's
today.
what. Hey, listen. Listen. When you somewhere, and doing something, and there's other people around, she'll look at you and say, "Yeah, that's on the shelf."
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm putting that on the shelf. So it might be 4, 5 like that. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
look, my mama used to say, "You on the
I'm from
verge."
Little Rock. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that sounds like a Little Rock statement right there too.
Yeah, that's on the shelf. I'm like, huh?
What'd you say, Ashley? Your mom used to say?
I said my mama used to say, "You on the verge." We knew exactly what that meant.
Right.
You only got one more time, and I'm gonna get you for old and new.
But I'm gonna tell you what I agree with you on, Kirk.
Yes, sir.
Kirkin. And when a man does it, it's more it's more effective, because I deal with my own children, right? And because me and their mother were married, I'm more effective. They fear me more, so a healthy fear and respect for me more than the mother, because like you said, they got the hiding place with her. You see what I'm saying? So I agree with you saying, even though I chose to do it the way you said you was raised, even though it didn't happen for me. I seen where it was damaging, but even though I knew it was damaging some of my other siblings, I believe I don't believe I know I've been here before, so I made a conscious decision as a young man that I know how I'm gonna raise my family when I have one.
Mm-hmm.
And brother, and I commend you on that. Let me commend you on that, and let me say for everyone
it affected
in the chat,
you in a positive way, is what you're saying. The way your mom disciplined you, it affected you in a positive way, not a negative way. Yeah.
And listen, that's a good point. And let me commend you on how you created culture in your house, how you rose against the odds. But if you say your mom is saying this hurts me as much as it hurts you, I think she's disciplining in love. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we just don't know how to discipline. And let me say this as well. There's a fine line between discipline and abuse. There's a very fine line between discipline and abuse. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you cross, it's so easy to cross that line. You know, I saw a woman literally kick her kids one time. Kick at her kid. Kick like a 7-year-old. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
She wasn't in our culture, was she?
Yeah, she was in our culture. She definitely was in our culture.
Yeah.
But she was a young mother, about 30 years old. And I'm sitting, I'm like, are you really kidding me right now? But that's how she was dealt with. She was raised in a foster home. You know what I'm saying? Her mother was a crackhead. So, and that's something we're dealing with in our generation, is that you have people that don't know how to discipline in love. And sometimes I'm gonna tell you, and a lot of times, Coy, Ashley, it's not the physical abuse, it's the verbal abuse. And I'm not even comparing that. I don't know how old you are. I'm 50, so so my
46.
parents okay, so we're in the same age group. So our parents were a lot older, so they came from a different age. I think it was a different level of toxicity back then than it is right now, based on what I'm seeing out here in the media. Did you see? I don't know. Did y'all stick around for a minute, Dawood? Did you see that video about a mother and her daughter arguing on Facebook?
I was just thinking about that.
I sent that to you.
That was
I should.
sad.
I couldn't play it tonight
But that
because I don't want to get
girl,
cut off.
she really touched on a lot of things that young kids may not be able to articulate. But she
Yeah,
did that.
yeah.
That's a sad video. I was looking for that before we got started today.
I
I
can't
thought
play
you
it.
sent it
I don't
to
want to get cut
me
off.
on Messenger, but I couldn't find it on our
I did send.
chats.
I thought I sent it to you
You
too.
know, they may have even removed it off, but I'll say this a lot of times, and we were talking about the way we're disciplining and stuff now. And I've had this conversation with my daughter and with other people. Um, I've tried to do more talking than the whooping parts,
Okay.
because a lot of times the things that are lacking is the conversational pieces behind some of the expectations. We think that our kids should know because sometimes this is how we were raised. And I tell people a lot of times it's too, even when I have conversations with my friends, some of my friends have younger children than mine, and they just, damn.
Huh?
Ashley,
What happened, Ashley? All right. So,
you
but
okay?
no, I don't know. Look, she said it sounded like she must got thought she got clicked off or something. I don't know. Or maybe she did get clicked off. We
Oh,
can't hear her. But that's okay. She'll be back in a minute. But yeah,
well,
that's
I don't believe in. I don't believe spanking is the way or whoopings or whatever.
hmm
I don't believe in that. I believe that um, I don't know. I kind of block mine out if I'm frustrated, but this is what I go by. I'm not going to treat my kid or do anything to my kid that I wouldn't allow my kid to do to me. That's what I roll with. So if I don't want my kid hitting me, guess what? I'm not going to hit my kid. If I don't want my kid cursing at me, guess what? I'm not going to curse at my kids. That's what I live by. I think that kids are going to be kids. Allow them to be kids. We're only kids for so long, for 18 years, and then we're adults forever. So just allow them to be kids, and you won't be surprised when they get older. You won't say, well, no, Gracie didn't do that. My kid? You'll know, yeah, that's my kid because you allow them, you didn't suppress their personality with just constantly disciplining them. Allow kids to be who they are.
Absolutely. And that but and I think quiet is kept. I think that's a fear to an extent. Because so many people are adamant about raising mini me's, and sometimes mini me's I know look like me and kind of all that kind of stuff. But sometimes we want to control our children's future. My baby, she shook my ex when she decided she didn't want to go to college. She didn't want to go to college. Now she got a 4.1 GPA, made almost 1,400, I mean, whatever it is on the SAT, but she knows what she wants to be. So she's like, I don't want to go to college. I'm done with school. And that's her decision as an 18-year-old young lady. Most of us go to college or went to college to try to find ourselves, to make connections, to try to find a career, all those types of things. Coming out of school at 18, and she's always been ahead of herself. This little girl used to beat us in Jeopardy and she couldn't even read. But I mean, she would get, I don't know if she guessed the right answers or what, but she would do this. So she was always sharp, right? And so with her being sharp, um, she figured out what she wanted to be. So she said, I want to be an esthetician. So she's going to school, to esthetician school, to be an esthetician. She's going to save us $40,000, $50,000 on going to college and all that kind of stuff. That's okay. I used to always, Dawood, I don't know how you raise your kids, but I used to always say, I don't raise robots. I want my children, I don't, because robots are programmed. I tell them exactly where to do, where to go, all those types of things, right? I want them to be able to make a good decision because I'm not always going to be there. I want them to be able to handle themselves when they come up against a circumstance that they're not prepared against, right? So I used to put them in scenarios. I can remember me and Kennedy riding down the street. Kennedy is my middle child. And I said, all right, Kennedy, we got 10 miles to the exit. We're going 70 miles per hour. How long is it going to take us to get there? Trey would be like, I ain't answering. My Mackenzie be like, I ain't studying that. Kennedy be like 7.2. She's trying to figure out a formula to understand. And that's what I mean. And I think Dawood can agree with this. That's what I mean when I talk about a man disciplining his child, because not only are we going to spank you out of emotion, but we're also going to tell you why we're spanking you. Hey guys, have you heard about Anchor by Spotify? It's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a few others. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And I save the best part for last. It's totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's Anchor, Anchor. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Gonna give you the results of what happened. This is because we're teaching this whole thing called consequence. Not saying women don't, you know what I'm saying, but I can't spank you and I'm crying, both of us crying like this, super emotional like that. Somebody has to kind of step in and make that happen. Hold on, Ashley, come on back. You ready? You there, Ashley?
My phone died. Yes.
You said damn.
We heard that D-bomb at the end.
Oh.
That was Ashley.
You were not disconnected at that time.
Oh,
that was Ashley. That was not me. That was
I'm
Ashley.
sorry.
Let me ask Lamorla a question. Lamorla says I keep the child abuse hotline programmed on my phone. Do you ask me? So Lamorla, if you saw somebody abusing a child, even a family member, would you say something? Would you say something?
Me?
No, I'm asking Lamorla that. She put that on. She said she keeps the child abuse hotline programmed in her phone. And I want to ask everybody
you keeping the child abuse hotline program, is this because of something you experienced as a child? Or
that's probably because of her line of work that she does.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, perception is just, I'm not gonna get into all that. But okay.
She said, heck yeah,
she'll leave it alone.
Everybody else in the chat, if you're in the store and you saw, let's not even say a toxic mama, let's say a toxic parent, somebody abusing a child, are you going to intervene?
So what is abuse? What does abuse
I'm
look
not.
like? Because
right.
To different people, abuse looks like it looks different. Because I'm gonna give you an example. Okay. People do people think when their grandmamas was pinching them in the church that was abuse? Did we think that was abuse?
No, that wasn't abuse. I don't think.
I know that growing up, my daughter, she would say little things, and I would take my finger and thump her lip. That hurt her worse that hurt her feelings more than whooping her butt. So somebody might look at that as being abuse, but to me, that's like, okay, hush your mouth. But to me, abusive would be somebody coming up whacking you in your face. But somebody back in the day might say, no, that ain't abuse. So it just, what is abuse?
Right.
What is abuse?
That's a good question. What is abuse? I know, so I won't abuse mine. Like I have two girls, two different personalities, raising them the same way. One is bad as heck. The other one is fine. And my parents be like, oh, you can't raise her like that. She need a whooping. I'm not going to do that. But they look at me crazy if we're in the store and she started cutting up. What I do, I just politely step right over and I keep walking. If people are looking at me like, but I'm looking like, what you expect for me to do? Because if I respond to it, you will see abuse. But I just walk away and she eventually get herself together and she'll follow her mom. That's how I handle it.
That's good. Dawood, by your perception,
Nathan said that pinching was abuse.
Dawood, what would you say? What would you call abuse, Dawood?
I say this. I know for a fact that verbal abuse is far more damaging than physical.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with I think it's a thin line between discipline and abuse too. It's like, because you can depend on what you discipline the child with, can be abuse right off the back. Like I've been hit with a extension cord. I know that was abuse.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That was my last one too. I left home at 15. My mother hit me with that, and I was like, it's over.
What'd you do?
I grabbed it. I snatched it out of her hand. Because I was much bigger. I was much bigger than she was, and it was like, this is enough.
Wow, that's
probably why she used it, because you were bigger than her. And so this is why I
No, she
made the
probably
statement
been
that
using it. Parents
No,
that
no,
pick
mama,
up
like
things
I
listen,
said,
like that,
like I
they've
listen
said,
been
to
using it.
listen
no,
to
like
what
I
I'm
said,
saying.
okay.
Listen to what I'm saying. This is why I made the statement that at some point the male should go and live with their father. Your mother
Yes.
probably, and I'm not speaking for her specifically, but in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, he's bigger than me. I got to get something. This belt ain't gonna work on this joker no more. I got to get something that's a little bigger so that it can, sting just a little bit. And I'm not saying that it was
But
right,
hold
but
on. You
I'm
know what?
just
You
saying
said
the
something.
thought process.
Was that you that said something earlier about getting immune to the whoopings?
Yes, sir.
Right. And
Yes.
that's why I agree when I say it was I didn't get a chance to talk at that time, so I answered it and I was saying that's true because she first started with
That's
switches that didn't
Uh-huh.
help after a while.
that's my point.
Then she started with the belt that didn't help after a while. So I
Mm-hmm.
guess she felt
That's my
like
point.
the extension cord, but that was that was too much.
That was the straw that broke the
Yeah,
camel's
That
back.
that was it.
you
And my
felt that,
dad,
but you
like,
weren't
like
taking that.
I'm gonna share something with y'all. My dad live with me right now, right?
Hmm.
And when him and my mother separated, it was back, man. It was bad, but he went and married another woman and stayed away from us for 30 years, right?
Wow.
My
Every
God.
now and then we would see him, but he tried to impose his authority over my children, and was so I got my children raised like this. You speak when you're spoken to, right? And when adults are around, you're not allowed to sit around grown-ups when grown-ups have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So my
Mm-hmm.
dad tried to get on them to my why they ain't speaking. And I said, listen, man, they don't know you. You 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 didn't try to be a part of their life when they was growing up. Now they're not disrespectful, but why don't you try to engage with them and try to, get them comfortable with you? I guess he didn't know how to do that. So, I really don't allow my father around my children now because I'm not them. I'm supposed to protect them, and I don't look at you as my father anymore. You just another man because we don't. You got to have a relationship, you know, and it's like I can go to so many things, but abuse is abuse, whether it's verbal or physical. You got to be careful what you say because you can't take the words back.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you apologize, the person that accept your apology, they still remember what you said.
Mm-hmm.
And same way with being like I didn't forget what my mother did, and I just feel like mostly it was because of her financial situation and her relationship with my dad was going bad, and she would lash out at us
Wow.
because it was 8 of us, and she had
Mm-hmm.
enough energy to whoop all of us at one
Wow.
time.
Wow.
My God.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, she's 75. She's a real one.
Let me hey Dawood, bro, I appreciate you for your transparency. Stay here as long as you
Yes.
want to. Stay as long as you want to. If you want to leave, leave, but you're welcome. Stay here. But Zontarius asked a question.
Say,
I don't want to incriminate nobody. Cause so we're gonna change the words of this question. We just gonna leave the part out for those of you who do corporal punishment. So I don't want to incriminate nobody either, because they might. You never know. I be fresh as hell when the feds
they
watch. So I
lurking,
don't
ain't
know.
they?
I don't know.
Especially what's her name? What's her name?
I don't know, but I be fresh as
Memoria.
I don't. What they say? I be fresh as what with the feds watching. So I don't know if they watching or not. So we're gonna answer the question. What age? And for those in the chat, for those that are listening, please answer. What age do you think that you no longer use physical punishment? What age is too old? What age is too old for whoopings? What age is
Is it
too old
really
for
an
Any
whoopings?
age?
age.
Well, no, just
What you say?
that's a good question. That's a good question. I like his question. It's not really. Yeah, I think it is a good age because Dawood just said when he got to a certain age, his mama couldn't whip him. Okay, he had to step out. If he comes back, cool. He basically said,
That
"I."
Wu
No, his
said he
mama couldn't
wasn't
whip him
taking
with
no
an
whooping
extension cord.
from no extension cord.
But
That's
he
what
said
he
that.
said.
But he said the belt wasn't working. He said the belt and everything else wasn't working no more though. So it just was what it is. Hold on.
For me, I haven't whooped my daughter
Okay.
uh in probably a few years. In a few years. Like I was saying before, I had gotten cut off. I choose to kind of talk a little bit because sometimes it resonates, but you can't beat the information into them. But every now and then, if need be, then I feel like I pull out a belt if I need to. But for the most part, I just
Age
have
range,
conversations.
Otis.
Huh?
I'm sorry, I was telling Otis, give me an age range. Don't give me a depends answer, y'all. Please give me a number. Give me a number, and let's act like it's a perfect world. I'm sorry, Ashley. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Oh, that was all that I had. I mean, I feel like at whatever age heck, if my mama came today and decided at 35 I needed a whooping, I don't know if I'm gonna stand there and take the whooping, but she could still decide that she want to give me a whooping. Okay. Sometimes these folks be, I don't know if there's a
okay. Otis said
I mean,
last
because
whooping
after a
he
while
had
you're
was
gonna start having to box these kids.
and that, at a certain point it becomes a fight. But you know what though? Okay. So that's a good, that's enough. Yeah, this is probably all we're gonna get through tonight, and this is a good conversation, so I'm cool with that. But
and
Otis
y'all can take that. Look, James. Tell them they can call whoever they want to call and knock at this door. If you want to take her, be prepared to take her and her t-shirt and her bandana wherever you need to go. However, these kids are some terrible. Not my daughter specifically, but sometimes you got to,
I get it.
You might have to let them know.
I get it. But you know what though? Life is not an event, right? Life is a process.
It is.
So they didn't just wake up a 14, 15-year-old, 16-year-old bad kid, as you call them. Because when you told them, you thought it was cute when they said no when they was 2 or 1, or you thought it was cute when they talked back to you. Look at him, he's so cute, all that kind of stuff. Man, did you see that video I put out the other day about that little boy with his little underwear on hitting at the police?
Oh my gosh, kind of
yes.
I mean,
and you know what? Them folks would have been mad. I'm sorry, James. Them folks would have been mad if one of them police officers had did something, put him in cuffs, did whatever. But nobody's looked at the fact that his little bad. And they said don't call kids bad, but Corey done did it tonight, so I'm gonna say it. They be talking about these kids ain't bad, but these little bad kids, honey, they something else. So if that man had a taste and did whatever was supposed to be given to him.
Now, why would you tase that kid? Come on, he doesn't know any better.
No, I wouldn't have held a taser, but I'd have bumped him.
Boy, he know better.
Yeah,
he doesn't. No.
Let's take away the fact of him being a police officer. You shouldn't be hitting on no adult.
I would tase both of them.
You shouldn't be hitting
I'd tase
on
the mama. I'd tase one of the parents. Listen, I would have 2 tasers, like I'm a dog, Quick Draw McGraw. And I'm just gonna bump the little kid and I'm gonna hold it on the mama. Because the first time the little boy said something out of turn, so this is the problem right here. First time the little boy said something out of turn to the police officer, the mama or daddy should have grabbed him then. Should have snatched the knot in him. You couldn't grab him by his collar because he ain't had no clothes on. But I'd have grabbed him by the back of his underwear and said, sit your little butt down somewhere or be quiet. And none of that happened because this whole scenario went on for about 2 minutes, right? That we saw on video.
Way too long. Way too long.
And so
yeah, I like that. That's true.
And my point is that we talk about, I got to box him at 15 or pump him at 16 or 17 and all this kind of stuff, but if you would have bumped him at 3 and scared him, because I'm going to tell you something, I could look at mine from across the room and just raise my eyebrows a little bit. And when I raised my eyebrows, all 3 of them would raise their eyebrows. And then my little girl would point at the other one like, point at that. Yeah, in other words,
you can accomplish that. I think you can accomplish that without corporal punishment.
You can. You definitely
I'm telling
can.
you, I have 3 children. I've probably spanked them all a total of. I have 3 that I raised. I promise I've spanked them 5 out of 5 times out of all of them. I didn't.
Daddies don't have to whoop, James. You can't even use that.
She didn't even spank them. She didn't spank them.
Daddies don't whoop.
She didn't spank them.
Daddies sure don't.
Yeah, I got
but listen
from my daddy, and that was because I bust my brother nose and got the stuff on his feet. And I think I kind of talked back to my daddy one time, honey. 2 whoopings out of my 35 years. Y'all don't whoop.
But my point is, but listen, but my ex didn't whoop nobody either. They just wasn't bad. But I'm telling you, I didn't have to whoop them. I mean, that little tap at 3 and those conversations, the depth of my voice was enough. To be honest,
can we talk about what Stacey Jackson said?
Sure, what he said.
I agree with this.
Stacey Jackson.
Let
me back it up. 10 years old.
Keep going. Before that one.
Okay. Okay, here we go. About having a beating with a broomstick.
Yeah.
He said, I've had a beating with it all, broomsticks, switches, etc. Most of us were raised by kids that were raised by slaves. Absolutely. Our ancestors. They didn't have any other solutions. I agree with all that. It's what they were taught, so they passed it down. Now we're trying to correct it. But the question is,
exactly. We need to be trying to correct it because it comes from slavery.
But that's why
they were beating our folks' tails.
That's why we're having the conversation right now. And that's and that's why we have and Stacey knows that's why we have these conversations. But I wish this number was 180 instead of 18. I wish this number was 18,000 instead of 18, because the people that need to hear this conversation are the people that you and I know, and we need to share this information. Now I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Y'all made me feel good today because a lot of people shared it. A lot of people were, acted in, they were set reminders and all those types of things. So we're getting there. We're definitely growing. But I want y'all to grow with me. Let's share. Let's share. Let's share. Ask G. They say the G in Ashley's name must stand for gangster.
Nathan.
Am I y'all? I'm missing some comments.
Some comments. Gentle, because I'm a gentle lady.
Ladies, y'all make sure y'all miss. If I miss something in the comment that y'all think needs to be highlighted, let me know, because they're going a little faster than I'm keeping up with. Let's see what
they were beating on each other's Zantarius.
He said, "Yeah." He's what he say. We have Africans who discipline their children, and they've never been enslaved. Absolutely, Eastern culture is just generally different. If you set boundaries early, you don't have, and that's my point right there. If you start setting the boundaries early, and that's the time that you have to really invest in disciplining. Disciplining takes work. It's not easy. I mean, a lot of what helped my children with discipline is that they were involved in, baseball and softball and all those types of things. So they had to keep schedules. You know what I'm saying? They had to be organized. They had to be organized to get everything, because it wasn't nothing worse than going to the field and realize you left your cleats at home, and you ain't gonna play.
I agree, Sammy.
Flinte said, I think when a child is able to actually understand what you are communicating to them, I think, that's when they need to stop whooping. When you're actually able to communicate to them. I never want my child to fear the punishment, but understand what I'm communicating. So whatever age that may be. Some children are more progressive than others with understanding. And that's what I was saying earlier with me talking to my daughter instead of beating, because you can't beat everything in them.
And let me offer a little contrast to what what Flinte said. He says some children are more progressive with understanding, but also some parents are more creative in communication.
That's true.
Let's not leave that aspect out as well.
Some
parents are a lot more creative. Like Ashley said, I'm comfortable enough to talk. Some people, their only response is to spank somebody. That's the only way they know, and they do it because that's how it was done to them, and they keep perpetuating the problem over and over again rather than find a solution. Here's my thing right here, Coy, and for everybody in the chat, we're talking about this, and I'm thank God mine are older now, and that's really why, because mine are older, I try to share some of these stories and some of these things that we talk about. But one of the things I hate. Okay, and Otis, that's a good question. Is the punishment for them or for you? That's good. But one of the things I hate is like, what if you're not, and this is hypothetical. What if you're not a morning person, right? So when you wake up in the morning, you just hollering at the child and raising your voice at the child and all those things, right? And so when you start raising your voice at the child, and then this child has to listen to you yelling at them before they go to school. But then we expect the child to go to school and act like did nothing happen at home today.
Exactly. Yep. There's a whole bunch of those hell raisers out there.
Yeah.
What if your child is not a morning person and you know? Go ahead.
Exactly. You have to learn how to work with your child.
Ashley, Coy, I learned that about my oldest, and it helped me with the other two. We used to wake up in the morning, he'll be moving around slow, and I'd be like, boy, go. We're going to be late. Just all that kind of stuff. I'm just hollering. And then finally I realized he's not a morning person. And so what I would do, instead of waking him up at 7 o'clock, this is the creativity I'm talking about, I would go in the room at 6:45 and turn on the light. I wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't say get up. I wouldn't say nothing.
Yep, that's how I used
I
to have to
wouldn't
do
say
my oldest.
anything. I'd turn the
Hmm.
light on. And then the light, he would start blinking a little bit and think, I guess, a little while, or maybe get on his phone for 3 or 4 minutes or whatever he wanted to do. But by 7 o'clock, guess what? He rolled out of that bed, went in the bathroom, and did what he had to do. Not
Right.
upset, not mad, but I'm hollering at him. And so many of us parents, we as parents, and listen, parents, let me say this. Young parents we parent, it's on the job training.
Mhm.
Okay. We're learning how to parent. Now we're affected by how our parents raised us. We're affected by our environments, things of that sort. We see what other people do. But for the most part, it's on the job training. And as parents, sometimes we have to be willing to admit that we make mistakes and then correct course.
Hmm.
When I realized that I'm upsetting my child, yelling at him in the morning, all that kind of stuff, and expecting him to go to school and do all this thing and perform, then when I realized, I said, you know what, that ain't right. So I changed my method and I corrected course. That's something that we have to do. We're human, and we can't expect our children to know what it took us all of our years to learn. I'm 50 years old. My
I
18-year-old
agree.
does not know everything that I know.
Mhm.
And I
Hmm.
can't expect them to do it. And you can't expect your child to know what it took you 30 years to learn, 40 years to learn, 50 years to learn. But as grandmama and them would say, if they keep living, they're going to understand it better by and by.
One
They're
of the
going to get
things too, James, that you said, and that you always that you always say, is you made the conscious effort to even think about the stuff that was going on, and you wanted to change it. Because so parents have to be willing to, first of all, examine themselves. Sometimes we do parent. That was one of the things that I started out with parenting, like I thought like I saw my mom parent me. Not that it was a bad thing, and I say this all the time, but certain things I didn't like, so I wanted to tweak those things. So when you see
Yeah.
things that don't work or didn't work for you or may not be working for your children, then you have to definitely make the conscious effort to want to change those things and be better,
absolutely.
or find what works better for your people. A lot of people don't do that, and that's why you see a lot of
Yeah,
times
I think we're starting to change that though, because we didn't like, well, I'm the mama. We didn't
oh
like that
yeah,
when our parents
because
said
I
it.
said
So
so.
I don't see a lot of my friends doing it with their kids. Well, I'm the
Yeah.
mom. We
Mm-hmm.
try to figure it out with our kids, more so our kids have a voice, you know?
Right, right. Definitely. Giving them a voice, but not, because one of the things that I had to learn was, and I'm still learning this, is they're human. They're just your
Hmm.
kids. They're your
Hmm.
children at the moment. And so although you are to give them things to be able to guide them through life, they still have opinions. They still have things that they like and
They are
dislike.
still
That
human beings
yes,
at the end of
yes.
the day.
Yes. And so with that, you have to care enough about the human being that they are to even want to take the time out to learn about their likes and dislikes.
Hmm.
And it's not an overnight process. Heck, my child probably feel like sometimes I get on her nerves with some of the stuff, but I ask questions often to see if what I'm doing is working
Hmm.
or if there's some things I need to change or adjust.
That's good, Ashley. That's good. And I'm gonna tell you something. A mirror. Most times we use mirrors to cover up a blemish or to make something that we think's unattractive more attractive or something like that, right? What about the unattractive parts of our lives that need to be adjusted?
Mm-hmm.
What about looking in the mirror? And Denise is 100% correct. Each generation should be evolving and doing things better. And so the mirror allows me to see my deficiency, to see my shortcoming, right? And say, you know what? And because I'm trying to get results, man. One thing I can honestly say about all my children is that I've been able to get results, and I can see the fruit of my labor. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that, it was by default. You know what I'm saying? Those kids, they just were in good situations. It was good soil. And it kind of worked out, man. And I appreciate it. But I think we gave them the environment to grow. You know, we gave them the flexibility to grow, to become who they were, you know, and you can do that within boundaries. As somebody said, Stacy said earlier, Stacy kindly said, you know, you let them grow, but you set boundaries earlier. And then the thing about setting those boundaries, and Denise, I'm sure you'll agree with this as well, as you set those boundaries and you trust those within the trust them within the confinements of those boundaries, then what happens? Those boundaries expand. And then you trust them within the confinements of those boundaries, and then those boundaries expand. And then eventually they got a whole big area, you know, and ain't nothing. I bet a dog loves when you give him a big backyard with a fence, right? Because he can run around in that backyard all he wants to. But but most of us don't want to I'm not gonna say most of us because I hate using those type words, but a lot of us don't want to extend the boundaries because it's gonna require more work. It's going to require more supervision. It's going to require more trust. It's going to require more on our part. You know, we don't want our child to play a sport because we got to drive them back and forth to practice. Or we don't want to be a part of an activity because it's going to inconvenience us. But we don't realize that it's expanding the child. It's helping them get social skills. It's teaching them how to be competitive. It's teaching them how to win, how to lose, how to do these things with grace because we're exposing. But a lot of our children suffer, watch this, not because of overexposure. A lot of them suffer because of underexposure. I mean, when they're exposed to something, then they don't know how to respond to it. It's crazy. Yeah, both of y'all on mute. Somebody say something. Both of them on
We're
mute.
listening. We didn't want all of the noise. You know, we get demerits, honey, if we got the noise going on in the background.
No. Everybody doing a good job. Y'all know. Hey, everybody that don't know, I love me some Coy and I love me some Ashley. We hard on each other, but we cool. We fight. Coy ain't never had a fight yet.
Coy, he don't fight you because you on his almost close to his age. He fight me because I'm young. That's what it is.
She'll know.
You know how y'all do your younger siblings. That's how he be doing me. Just doing me any kind of way.
But you be coming for me, Ashley. So I gotta protect myself. That's all that is. That's what that is. But so the way this conversation started tonight, y'all, for those that are here now, is that we put a meme out that we picked up on Facebook that said toxic mothers do just as much damage as absent fathers. And so we've kind of been dealing with that old toxic model that a lot of us grew up with, and that is still prevalent. Because guess what? Toxic mothers have daughters. Toxic mothers have sons. Let me. I wanted to read this.
And for people who were, I don't know. I know it wasn't just Coy, but I'm sure people. I think it was some people that was in the comments when we were talking earlier that made the statement about fathers as well. The fact that we do the latter part of that does say that is just as worse. But if you think about the facts, you can't highlight yourself as I'm gonna say the prominent parent if you're over here doing just as worse and not adding value or even helping your child through life in the absence of the other person. So I think that for that, you know, a lot of times women try to exclude themselves from being this worst parent because they got the kids, but they don't realize that some of the stuff that they be doing to the children is just as bad as the child. Now, y'all both just need to put them out there in the corner. If y'all gonna be doing some of the stuff that you're doing, they might be better out by themselves. So to add just a little, I guess a little seasoning to the actual meme, women do kind of spotlight themselves and think that they're much better than the absent father when they just as worse sometimes, in my opinion.
Denise, do me a favor. I just sent you a link. If you're available, I want you to come in for a second. I'm about to play a quick video. Hold on, not that one. I'm about to play this video real quick, and then we're gonna get out of it. We're gonna touch it tonight, but we're gonna come back next week, and we're gonna really dive into it a little bit deeper. Let me try to set it up, Denise. If you're available. If you're not, I understand, but I want to set this up because this has really been going viral all around town. So it's not going to look right, y'all, but y'all pray for me. I'm gonna get it together. Denise, yeah, Denise, if you're available, please click in because you did a good post on this the other day, and I heard you, and I want you to come on and share your story with our people, if you will, and then we're gonna kind of segue out. But hold on, y'all, I'm having trouble, technical difficulty. No, I'm not. Here it is. Here it is, y'all. Let's listen to this and listen attentively, please, ma'am, please, sir. And we'll give context in a moment. Hold on.
Because we are raising up women to be men. And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families.
Yeah, that's all I want to play. I didn't play it the way I wanted to play it, but I wanted to play that right quick. Could everybody hear it? Could you hear? Could y'all hear it?
Huh? Yes.
Have most of you guys seen this clip?
Have y'all seen that clip?
If I need to do it, say James 1, 2, or what did you say? Okay. The clip is misleading for one, and I just
hold on. Let's hold on before you go into it, Coy. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna get you in a minute. I want to make sure they heard it. Okay, she didn't get the link. I'm gonna send it one more time. Yeah, hold on. Let me send it again. Cause I'm gonna play it again. Hold on, Coy, because I don't think I didn't set it up right. Hold on. Let me try to get Denise in here again. Denise, I'm sending it to your inbox. 1 second, y'all. But yeah, let's let it marinate a little bit better. Let's set it up a little bit better. Coy, please, ma'am.
Okay.
Hold on. All right, I'm sending it again. There it is, Denise. I just sent it to you again. Let me try to find this video again. Ashley, can you try to find it?
Yeah, it's in our. You remember, it's in our. Chat.
Yeah, I know it's in there, but I'm not able to get it out fast enough to show. Hold on, let me try it this way.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, I know I'm not as technical. Like y'all call you. Ashley called me old, and that hurt my feelings a little bit. That really hurt my feelings, but
it did not.
How come?
No, it did not.
How come?
You're not even bothered about some of the stuff that I say.
Some of the stuff, but that one did.
I apologize, sir, if I offended you.
That was easy. Hold on. Let me try this again. If I do it this way,
you get it from your text?
No, I got it. I got it now. Hold on.
Okay.
I almost got it. Hold on. I got it now. Sometimes I have these brain farts. All right, y'all stick around for me. Stick with me, ladies and gentlemen. Denise, let me know if you got it. I mean, if you got that thing a second ago. All right, so I'm gonna click this off, and now I'm ready to share it. All right, good. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna share it one more time. Share screen. Chrome tab. Watch. Boom. Now let me do this, and now I'm gonna hit play. Now I gotta hit volume.
And you are not applauded for your femininity. You are applauded in the contemporary society by how tough, rough, nasty, mean, aggressive, hateful, possessive you are, and you are climbing the corporate ladder, but we are losing our families. I know you can buy your own car. I know you can buy your own house. But until you create a need that I can pour into, I have no place in your life. So stop coming home bragging to me about how much you don't need me and wonder why I shy away.
Okay. That's what I wanted to play. Now, as Coy said, the caption is very misleading. Go ahead, tell them why it's misleading, Coy.
The entire clip is misleading. They took a clip out of a full sermon regarding fathers, basically. Mm-hmm. And it was stating that, father, let the males pour into you, ladies. we're pouring too much into the males. And what I took from it is we shouldn't have high expectations if there's nothing already poured into that male. I might be wrong. That's what I took from it. How do we expect so much to be poured into us? Well, the male is supposed to be doing the pouring. That's us doing so much of the pouring.
That's it. The rest, beyond that part of it, the rest is out beyond that part. Corey, what you just said, the male is supposed to be doing the pouring. The rest is relative. There is no template. Everything beyond the male. What he said, because hear this. It was a Father's Day sermon, and I hope Denise got this, and I hope she. I must be illiterate. I'm just asking. The Father's Day sermon, and I hope Denise got this, and I hope she. I must be illiterate. I'm just asking. I just be asking questions. I'm here. Did you not see it? What she said? I'm just being asked questions. I'm here. I don't see you on the. Hold on. I don't see you. I don't see you. Did you click on the link? Because I wanted you really to elaborate on your post the other day when you posted this clip, and you said you could relate to a lot of what was being said. So I sent the link to your inbox, and if you click on the link, you don't have to necessarily show your face, but we'll be able to hear your voice.
The reason why I was thinking or saying that it was misleading.
She says the inbox is asking her questions. What kind of question is it asking? You know what? Inbox me your email address, and I'll send it to your email address. Just inbox me your email address. Ashley, keep on saying what you're saying, please.
I was just saying the reason why I thought it was misleading is because of the caption that was put on it. And it basically was saying that we're raising, what was it, raising? Oh, shoots.
It's saying that.
Hold on, let me pull it back up. The caption that was on there to me was controversial. And I don't think a lot of people even went on to the link to actually listen to what was being said to even understand the thing. So that was my part of it being misleading. But the internet does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's up to us to kind of dig a little bit deeper to get some of the true content behind the meaning of the actual sermon. So that was my take on it being misleading.
Okay.
Because I was one of the ones that looked at the caption, and I actually just kind of scrolled past it when I first saw it, because I didn't have time to even click and look at it. And then when I went back, and I'm like, oh, okay. I can't say we're raising our women to be men, but some of the stuff in here that he's saying, I could see where they gathered that. But the thing is that everybody is on the trip of, and I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, of trying to get women to operate in their feminine so that they can be able to attract the man that they are wanting, and also allowing the man to be the man. I know people don't like for it to be said that way, but that's kind of how I see it. That's my 2 cents.
I got you. And
yeah, I felt like he was saying we're doing too much. Like we're giving too much. We're not allowing the man. The man was born to be the giver and us be the receiver. He was born to pour into us and us just help him along the way to triple it or double it or whatever. We're supposed to help, not do the pouring.
Yeah, absolutely. And if he's operating in his God-given role, then he's going to pour. He's going to pour, and then it's a 57-minute sermon, and 40 minutes of it you can get the whole gist of what he's trying to say, and it just makes sense. And says so many.
Yeah, and that's just a clip from the sermon. It's not what he's trying to say. What he's basically saying is that the clip that we're seeing. Let me pull this back up and look at it. He wasn't even saying that at all. He was just saying, when he gets to the part about we're raising women to be men, hateful, independent, at the expense of men, he was basically saying, men, do your part, because We don't want the woman coming and saying, "This is what I'm doing," because that's what you're supposed to be doing. We're just supposed to add to it.
Okay, so brother Bullard said something. He said, "I think community leaders like T.D. Jakes are conveniently expressing the concept after they have collected all the tithes from these same women over a prolonged time period. I think pastors have encouraged this kind of behavior from our women for years, and now we are seeing the flaws of our concept."
Can you
That
put
could
that
be
back
true.
up there?
Sure. You know what? I agree. I don't agree. I don't agree. And I'm gonna say why I don't agree. Because now we just sat up here and talked a minute ago how parents can correct course. You know, because you learn. You know, you the more information you're given, the different revelations you're given, then you learn and you move and you evolve, right? So how come a pastor can't evolve? How come a pastor can? And this is not this definitely is not going to be a bad pastor session.
Well, I
On
think
on this show.
he's basically speaking from that one clip.
Oh, Theodore said he's saying over a pro. He said I think pastors have encouraged this kind of behavior from our women
What kind
for
of
years.
behavior from
This
women?
the manly type women, you know, the aggressive type woman. Because most church, and I get what Theodore is saying, because most churches are filled with women. You know, men don't come to church. Men don't follow the same way women follow. And so I get the spirit of what he's trying to say. But also I can also see where, what if, and this is me hypothetically speaking, what if, you know, you get a new revelation and you learn. You know, I mean, I was hitting, and I told Theodore, I said a minute ago, as the head of my household, I used to get on Trey hard in the morning until I realized he wasn't a morning person. And then I corrected course. I changed my method. I turned the light on 15 minutes earlier. So you get more information, or you see your mistake or whatever it is. I don't even know if that's the case or whatever. But even if it is, this is where we are. Good. I got Denise now. Hey, Denise, how you doing, ma'am?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can. You can talk a little bit more. I thought I heard a little static, but let's make sure you're good.
Okay. Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So talk about. I played the clip about when Jakes was talking about women become. I already played it. So tell me, how did that make you feel, Denise, when you heard it?
I was convicted because, and this is just my opinion. No stones, not throwing, like pointing fingers. Because a lot of mothers, we raise our daughters based off of our prior relationships or experiences with that we've actually had with men. So technically, just to me, I'm speaking for me, and I owed an apology to my daughter because she saw nothing but masculine energy from me growing up, because I was the single mom, I was the breadwinner, I was paying all the bills. So her perception was like, okay, this is how my mom is showing me, and this is how my mom is guiding me. So technically, she never really experienced the feminine, nothing from me. And I think it actually happens more in our communities than we really know, because we're raising them based off our experience with men. I dated garbage. I dated trash. So the perception of my daughter was that is basically how, that's my life. I'm gonna, have to work. I gotta pay the bills, and it actually stripped her. And then I've seen other girls, it strips them of their feminine energy, because we just dive so much into our masculine energy. So and that's from the beginning, and that's just my perception of that message. And he was absolutely 100% correct.
I'm gonna let you ladies have a conversation. Y'all, so what do y'all think about what Denise just said? And Denise, hold on. Denise, how old are your children?
My daughter is 28 and my son is 25.
Okay, so she's in a different place.
Totally different place.
So she's able to look a little bit back, a little bit further. Okay.
Correct.
So some of you all that have younger daughters, it might behoove you to listen, because she's looking in the rearview mirror of her life and saying, she's woman enough to say, I made some mistakes. And go ahead. I'm done. I'm being quiet for a minute.
Based upon what she said, I can agree. James, I've made the statement beforehand, even when we talk about marriage and different things, on how the women in my family have never taught they teach us how to do things independently, but they haven't taught us to be independent, if that makes sense. They've always
Interdependent. Yeah. What you
so they've
think there?
all so they always have always taught, or my mom has never said that you don't want no husband, you don't need no husband, you don't need this, you can do this, INDEPENT. Like I never got that. My aunts, I never got any of that. And so based upon what Miss Denise is saying, I totally agree with the way that we are raised. We sometimes put those things out into our children, and then once they get out, they do the things that they saw their parent doing, and then they teach their children. So it's like a cycle. So Miss Denise, I commend you for being able to even look at yourself and go and apologize. And maybe you still can help your daughter in that aspect of her life, because she ain't too young to right the wrong, if that makes sense.
The hardest part was basically looking in the mirror. I think the hardest part for me is being able to, all these years hiding behind all of the toxicity and the toxic stuff that I showed my children, especially my daughter, was for me coming to terms, because that was a way for us to build our relationship. And I think some mothers really need to dig deep and try to, and really come to realize the reason that their relationships are messed up with their daughters. It's because we started that, our kids didn't start it. So it was very hard. And even to this day, I have conversations with my daughter and I let her know she really has to step back and she's, she has a fiance, she has children, but her dominance, don't wear that as a badge, and she really does to this day. So I stay on her, Ashley. I really do. I really do.
Wow.
Because it's not a badge, and it shouldn't be worn as a badge.
I mean, the thing about it, and like Coy said, the being interdependent, because some men will say they want it's not that they don't want I'm gonna say the air quote, the strong, they want resilience. But the thing about it is, at some point in time, you still have to step back. And I went through a stage in my younger times where there was a guy that I was talking to, and we kind of helped each other learn, because at that time I wasn't taking on some of those things that my mother had taught me. I was doing my own thing. I was getting out here getting it, and whatever I need to get, I was getting it. And the guy, and I was getting it for me. And the guy and I were talking, and we talked later on, and one of the things is you helped me, and I helped you. And it was what you helped me with was that to be patient with people who may not have gotten to the point where they realize that it's okay to allow a man to be a man. And from that day forward, it was like, because there is some men that want to do some things for us women. And if we just allow them to do that, they'll do those things. Within your relationship, and heck, sometimes outside of, but just let them operate in that and it wasn't called, everybody's so on the feminine energy now. It wasn't being called all of this back in the day. It was just let the man be the man. And so I had to learn that. And when I tapped into that, I'm like, okay, this feels real good. And I had a conversation with my mother about it, and she was like, well, this is what I've been saying the whole time. I wasn't listening to that. So continue to talk, because us young girls, we need it, especially when you have a revelation to know that what you had been doing and teaching wasn't correct, and to come back and help that. That's the part, Ms. Denise, I'm gonna keep commending you on.
Well, thank you, sweetie.
Oh, Bolo says, salute Denise for taking a certain level of accountability. It's hard to get so many sisters to do that. Absolutely, Bolo. We appreciate you.
I think it's hard because when we have to take accountability, that exposes a lot of vulnerability that we have within. And a lot of us have not been able to really accept that. That goes back to how we were raised. And think about it. When you dissect how you was raised, you have to dissect how your parents were raised. And then it goes, it goes back.
Generational.
And it can hurt. It's some hurt there, and a lot of people not ready for that hurt, because it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
And y'all, and I'm not trying. Y'all know, and we're going to start winding down. I got something I want to read, But y'all know Denise, you too, because you've been here since the beginning as well. I mean, we were saying this long before Bishop Jakes preached that clip.
Mm-hmm.
We've been having these conversations for the last 6, 7, 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So so this is nothing new. But let me because we're going to wind this conversation down. I know Corey, you there, young lady?
Corey gone to sleep.
I am here. I'm waiting to get in.
Oh, come on, your turn. I was waiting on you to talk. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I can't see you, Corey. I keep talking.
Normally, I can read facial expressions. I can't read facial expressions tonight. So y'all. Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah.
I hear everything everybody is saying, and I think it could go the other way as well. Like my parents, they raised their kids together. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. I didn't want to be that woman. I saw the things she did at the house. It rolled over to all of us as we became older, We had to take on the household chores. I ain't like the chores, the housework, none of that. So I took on most of my father's traits and attributes. I said, when I grow up, I will be successful. I'll take care of my family, and I'll also hire housekeepers because I'm not doing laundry or cleaning. I'll cook, but I just didn't want. I wanted to be more like my father. That can be a problem within itself, but I do know that I need a man.
Yeah.
I like that, Corey, though. And I never thought about it that way until you said that part. I don't want to be the domestic person.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. Like cleaning, I'm like, this is what you do when you stay at the house?
Yeah,
this ain't for me.
Welcoming. At the end, you said I still need. You didn't say I'm gonna do all these things because heck, you and your husband can. Oh, yeah, never mind, not the husband. You and your man. If y'all have been watching, y'all know what the statement is about Corey and the husband. Y'all can get out there and do those projects together. I don't hear you saying that I don't need him to come and do X, Y, and Z.
But hold on, y'all have taken the conversation away from the toxic part of the aspect of it that we were talking about. Let's stay on. I mean, let's stay with what
I didn't think that we did. I thought we was talking about TD Jakes in the comment.
I think it's about us taking on male traits and roles, and that's what we're discussing right now.
Male traits from a woman that was acting toxic, though. That was not.
No, I thought we were talking about TD Jakes clip. I'm confused now.
Yeah, y'all confused me with this whole line with this part of the conversation. Kind of it got. I don't know. I had to rewind tape and listen to it more. Yes, Kit Win. All of us did. Most of us up here did listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, and it's not geared toward that clip that somebody extracted from it and made it something else. The interpretation of that is totally different than watching the entire video.
Absolutely. But
Kid, that's what we said before when they first played the clip. That Coy said it was very misleading because that's not actually kind of what it was geared towards.
But the point is, and this is the point I'm trying to stay with.
Can I say something before you say that, James? What I'm saying is because I guess because I had both my parents in the household, I still realize or recognize it takes a man and a woman in the household.
Oh, absolutely.
That was my point.
Yeah, and that's
although
a great
I have some male energy, but and that could be a problem also. Yeah. How do we combat that?
Coy, I know you probably read this already, Coy, but Bolo said great adjustment. Best thing that I heard was I still want a man to balance that out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But piggybacking and using what Denise said, because y'all are great. To me, y'all are good scenarios. Y'all came out good and produced from the 2-parent homes, all that kind of stuff. And I love that. But this is what Denise is referring to, in my opinion, is what happens sometimes when the toxic mother has felt the effects of a toxic mother. Let me read this right quick. Hold on. And this is part, and y'all have heard me talk about the Willie Lynch letter. Y'all talk about its authenticity if you want to. It doesn't matter, but the ramifications are real. Let me read this, and I'm not going to read all of it, but let me read some of it. What it says. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see it?
No,
Y'all
we can
can't?
see it, but I can't read it.
All right, cool. I'll read it. Then I'm gonna read it out loud. It says, "We reverse nature by burning and pulling a civilized N-word apart and bullwhipping the other to the point of death, all in her presence," talking about the black female. "By her being left alone, unprotected, with the male image destroyed, the ordeal caused her to move from her psychologically dependent state to a frozen independent state. In this frozen psychological state of independence, she will raise her male and female offspring in reversed roles. For fear of the younger male's life, she will psychologically train him to be mentally weak and dependent, but physically strong." Dawood kind of proved that earlier. Because she has become, here it is, because she has become psychologically independent, she will train her female offspring to be psychologically independent. What have you got? Then it says, what have you got? You've got the N woman out front, using the N-I-G-G word. I'm not going to say it. The N man behind and scared. This is a perfect situation of sound sleep and economics. Now, here's the part that killed me. It said before the breaking process, we had to be alertly on guard at all times. Now we can sleep soundly, for out of frozen fear, his woman, talking about the black man's woman, stands guard for us. The us in the context is for them. That's what that whole piece, that's what messed me up when I read that whole thing, right? Because it talks about what Denise just said. It says that she raised them in reverse, that the woman, you raise your daughter to be psychologically independent, and you raise your son to be physically strong but mentally weak. You know what I'm saying? When you beating them down, talking crazy to them, all the types of things. And so now, but the key and critical part in that, it says, out of frozen fear, she stands guard. Before that, we can go to sleep. We were worried about them rising up and killing us and taking us out. But now that she's done her job, the job we needed her to do, now we can go to bed tonight because out of frozen fear, she's raised her children a certain way. And that's deep. But some people would debate that, but the ramifications are so real. The ramifications are real. Listen, it's time to it's 10:36. We've been on too long tonight. I'm sorry, Corey, I kept you up too late. I know your child is over there tired and probably want mommy's attention and all that kind of stuff. And I've kept you on too late. Y'all, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be on this late tonight. And I really want to get deeper into this conversation about because I got more. With this what Jakes was saying. And we're not going to be, but we're working towards create frozen fear. It's real. Frozen fear. She don't ever want, listen, she saw her husband. Now, see, some of y'all, this is the deep part for me. Some of y'all say the black man left, but Willie Lynch seemed to imply that the black man would be taken out of his home. And there's a difference. There's a no. I leave of my own volition. Being taken away is something else. 1 million black men were taken away in a 10-year period through the prison system. When they tried trumping up charges, giving 10 years for a dime rock with a disproportionate sentence. It's a difference. And you imagine this as if you were a man, Coy. And we talking about slavery now. What if I'm married to my wife, right? Or you're married to your wife if you were a man, and master walk in the room, tell you get out, go in there and just have sex with your wife. How does that emasculate you? And so it's not so much that we left. A lot of us were taken out and taken away. And that's what left you alone. And see, the thing is, until we forgive one another for what happened and quit saying, you left, and stop pushing us out the door. And it's bad enough that they took us away. So we got to figure out how to make this thing work. I got a little guy that comes over my house sometimes, and him and his girlfriend, they struggle. Whoever's that came in and said, hey, you all, you're on my business page, so I can't see your name. If you go Jesse. To my, okay, it's Jesse. If you go to my personal page, James Kirkland II, I can see who's all comment, but I can't see him. But yeah, if we can reconcile and stop and try to figure out how we can stay. I got a little couple to come to my house, and he come up here depressed almost every other day, arguing And I'm on him. I'm trying to tell him how to be a man. He got a child, da, da, da. And now he wanted to leave her, and all of a sudden now she's pregnant again. I said, oh, now you got to figure this out now. No, well, I'm gonna bring her over the house so you can talk. Oh no, I'm not a counselor. I'm not gonna talk to her. You're gonna talk to her. Well, she said she want to go to counseling. Oh, she want to go. She said she'll go to counseling. I said, okay, go. Well, no, I'm not going to counseling. Why not? Because I don't need no counselor. I come talk to you. She's giving you a white flag, telling you what would work to possibly save your relationship. Go to counseling. And if that one don't work, then come talk to me. But I'm on him hard, trying to give him good advice. Who are you? If people come to me for advice, I'm going to share it. I got people in the inbox. They call and talking to me, but I'm going to give them good advice. Not out. I'm not like this. Just because I got a divorce, I'm not going to tell nobody to leave their wife. I'm going to tell them to be accountable. Don't make them, take your butt home. Don't make the mistakes I made. Mm-hmm. Go home. Learn how to create community and culture in your own culture, in your own house. Learn how to be there. Just be there. Like T.D. Jakes said, your presence is the present.
The presence.
You need to be around. Your presence, them seeing you in the house, and understand. And I told him, I said, guess what? You don't know her that well. You ain't known her for a couple of years. How long is that? That's going to take a lot longer to get to know her better. So it's a process. Us getting back together is going to be a process.
And we have to be willing to do it.
It's going to take listen to some hard truths. It's going to have to stop this whole point the finger thing. I'm not pointing the finger.
Yes.
I'm just stating facts. So if I say, like I say, if we say that the toxic, we're talking about toxic women, well, the men just as bad. We're not there tonight. We'll get them next week.
We don't care about that. Yeah.
We'll get that next week.
We're trying to fix this.
Yeah, so let's fix it. So
a lot of times we do that and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done. I know you're trying to get off, but we probably said it so many times on here. It's just to deflect off of get the attention off of you being the subject of discussion, and to try to put the attention on somebody else. And just like Coy said, we don't care about that. James has made mention of it. That's not the. In the course of talking about us, we may touch on them, but if we can get us together, then we can move on to. We make 2 steps, we go 2 steps forward and then take 4 steps backwards. We definitely going in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm. We're going, but it's fixable. You know why it's fixable? Because we're having these conversations, and I'm starting to see some
and
of
we're recognizing it.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And I'm starting to see some of your names consistently in the chat every week. So that means you're starting to believe what we're saying as well. And so just continue to share this with your community. I see we have like 19 shares so far. Corey, I said I wanted 25. So 19 ain't bad. We got most of what I tried to get tonight. So we're going to continue to do that. And we're going to continue to have these conversations. I will be expanding my platform in August. I will be having a Tuesday night show as well. I'm looking forward to that. Now, the Tuesday night show is a little bit more in my element because I'll be interviewing pastors and people that are in
all of it is your element.
The non-profit. What'd you say?
All of it is your element.
Well, that's true, but I enjoy all of it. So we're gonna, but I'm looking. And guess what, Ashley? Guess what? You're gonna be surprised. Guess what? For real talk, I'm already scheduled through August into September for my Tuesday night show.
Well, all right then.
I already have all my guests. I mean, I got like guests for the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th. And I got tentative people for the first 2 weeks in September as well. So that's going to be a deeper, substantive show. But this ain't, no, this is deep too. I can't say it's going to be, it's just going to be different. Let's just say that. It's going to be different. So, it's going to be good. Corey, you got anything you want to say before we leave out? You're muted, Corey.
Pertaining to the end of this, not necessarily talking about the toxic mother, but you made a valid point, Ashley made a valid point. You know, we have to try to fix this instead of point fingers. We have to pull up our tolerance and tolerate a little more and work with each other. If we can do that, we can have successful relationships. Nobody's perfect. We shouldn't be looking for perfection. We have to help each other.
Absolutely. That's good advice. What you got for me, Ashley? We out of here.
I ain't got a thing. I'm done.
All right. Guess what? The world is changing. I love my music. Watch this.
We know, child.
All right, the world is changing. My question for you is, why do you remain the same? I'll see y'all on next Monday night, and I appreciate
Bye,
you
y'all.
all for your participation. See you next week. Be good. Should I come now?